Hello and welcome. I am Roy at Ninjas of the 90, and today I will be reviewing the Mattel Masters of the Universe Revelation Masterverse Mer-Man version 2, at least I think, because, yeah, I already reviewed the original. But anyway, guys, I will be giving you my thoughts and opinions on this figure, and letting you know whether or not I feel this figure is worth it, and I will be giving this figure a final score. So with that said, let's get on with this review. And now, here we have the Mattel Masters of the Universe Revelation Masterverse Mer-Man 2.0 figure right here in all of his scaly, fishy, aquatic glory. As you can see, this is a well-sculpted, well-detailed, highly articulated figure made by the super cool, awesome people at Mattel. Of course, the same people that brought us Barbie and Hot Wheels and other cool toys. But anyway, yeah, this one is different from the other Mer-Man that I reviewed. And I will bring him out for a figure comparison later in this video. So I will kind of do a brief comparison between the two, explaining the difference. But anyway, we can see that this one is wearing some fish scale armor, some like aquatic armor, or his signature Mer-Man armor, and it is removable, so basically all you have to do is slide it off, and there you have it. And it does have like these little scaly spikes in it, kind of almost like the Gill-Man scales, like the creature from the Black Lagoon scales, which unfortunately I did plan to grab the NECA version of the Gill-Man, the creature of the Black Lagoon, and review it and do a comparison with the Jada Toys version, but unfortunately, yeah, that one sold out on Big Bad, so yeah, that's not going to be happening for some time right now. But anyway, getting back to this figure, as you can see, unlike the original, this one is wearing some full-on gloves. We have these, like, this big, long, pointy, piece in the back of his gloves, so that's a big difference from the other one, of course. And another thing, this one also has different shin guards on his legs, on the bottom of his feet, so that is another big difference. And also, he does have like the same like seaweed, like seagrass, like loincloth. Although this one is slightly translucent. So, if you, I don't know if you could see my finger in the back, but I did notice this one has somewhat of a translucency to it. So yeah, it's kind of questionable, but but anyway, yeah. What's the point of wearing you know, lower body wear if it's translucent? But anyway, getting back to this figure, you can see he has a really nice shiny sapphire blue jewel in the middle of his armor as well, so that's a nice touch. And also, you do notice that this one does have a slightly different head sculpt than the other Mer-Man. This one does not have the battle-scored eye, nor does he have any scoring on his chest or anything. Now, it is the same torso piece. It is the same body piece. It does have the same articulation, so I will be going over articulation. So let me take everything off. Oh yeah, and one more thing I wanted to mention before I go over articulation. If you do look at his belt, it is a different color scheme than the other Merman, than the version 1 that I reviewed, unless I got it wrong and this is the version 1 and the other one is the version 2. I don't know which one came first, or Mattel released both of them at the same time. I have no idea. All I know is one's version 1 and the other one's version 2. And then there's like the New Eternia Merman, which I could have grabbed that one from eBay, but yeah, I don't know if I want to spend $100 on a Masterverse figure. Because as far as what I've been enjoying the Masterverse line so far, yeah, I think $100 for on the aftermarket for a sought after Masterverse figure is a little bit much for my budget right now. But anyway, yeah, I was supposed to be going over articulation. My bad. Anyway, the head can look up, we can look down, we can look right, we can look left, and we could do a full-on 360 cranium revolvus in the opposite way. And of course, we have that same shoulder rotation, so we can swivel those shoulders all the way around, a full 360 in the opposite way. Hinge joint in the shoulders as well, so you can bring those shoulders up and down like so. Bicep swivel. Same song and dance you have with the other one, and pretty much every other Masterverse figure. And of course, we do have a double joint in the elbow. Hinge in the wrist. A swivel hinge in the wrist. Like so. Same here. Same articulation you have across the board with pretty much most Masterverse figures. Now, this is an earlier release Masterverse figure, and for those of you who have been watching my reviews ever since I started collecting Masterverse, y'all know how I feel about those earlier torso joint pieces, how it was just like that single peg, and how I thought you could fully rotate it. And I accidentally, well, it was an accident. I wasn't trying to break it, but I broke my 40th anniversary Masterverse He-Man. But yeah, like I said, and I've said it multiple times, I have replaced it. So, yeah. That one's been replaced, and yeah, that one's, fortunately, not that hard to come by. But anyway, we do have an ab crunch, so we can lean him forward and back like so, and we can rock side to side and lean side to side like so, and we can rotate a full 360 at the waist and the opposite way. But however, like I said, do not attempt to rotate that torso unless you have drop down hips on your Masterverse figures. Then that's a good sign that you have top torso articulation, unless it's, the Vintage Collection Skeletor, which this one does have the drop-down hips, but it still has that outdated torso joint. So, like I said, if you watch my review for that one, I have no clue why Mattel did that. Because if you get the Vintage Collection Faker, yeah, that one has the updated torso joint, and it has the drop-down hips. But anyway, back to the figure. Leg articulation, starting with the hips can kick forward about this much, back about that much, out to the side about that much. Same is true with the other leg. Forward, back, side. We could do the splits out about that much. So we could do those froggy splits if we want to. Of course, we do have full-on thigh swivel, so we can swivel those thighs all the way around. Double joint at the knee, so bend those knees all the way back. And then forward again. And of course, we do have a hinge in the ankles. And you can point them forward and then swivel all the way around full 360. And same is true with the other foot. And yeah, that pretty much concludes it for articulation with this figure. And of course, Let's put his armor back on. Now, of course, an easier way to put his armor back on, you don't have to, but you can take his head off and then put his armor back on like that, and then pop his head back on. And as far as accessories, I did swap out his right hand, well, his left hand, my right, or I don't know how Mattel labels them, but yeah, he came with like one open palm hand. The other one was a gripping hand, but he does come with some handy accessories. So I do have both his gripping hands in, but we have his open palm swimming hands, if you want to call them that. We have 2 closed fist hands, which I will probably hardly ever use, if not ever. And of course, we do have his signature fishbone sword that everybody likes to call a corn on a cob sword, or I don't know, or I guess you could call it a sword on a cob, or a bladed macabre, or whatever you want to call a merman sword. I guess it's fitting, but it's mainly a fishbone sword, because like, if you really look at it, it does have some pretty deadly serrated edges. Sort of like like those Mayan, like Aztec swords. They kind of have like those razor blades, kind of like wedged inside, like a sort of like a wooden piece. Although this is like all bone with serrated edges, so it's kind of like a little similar. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway, let's bring out the other Mer-Man figure for a quick comparison. Now, I don't want to make this video too long, but anyway, I'm gonna take his armor off. Now, just to show you guys real quick, the armor piece is compatible with both Mer-Man, so that's a definite plus. But what I really want to show you guys is not just he's wearing different armor, like on his wrists and on his lower legs. So that's an obvious difference. And of course, yeah, like I showed you, his arm gauntlets different. But another big difference I noticed between the two is, I don't know if you notice it, other than this one has scoring on his body, is the version 2 is a darker green, and this one is more of a lighter green. So, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this one came first. And this one I think Mattel made after, unless they both released them at the same time. I have no clue, because I wasn't keeping up with the Masterverse figures when they first released. But anyway, like I was explaining earlier in the video, trying to get them to where you can see it. Yeah, the seagrass loincloth, whatever you want to call it, is different between the two. This one's like a more darker orange, and this is more of a lighter orange, and this one kind of has like a sort of a slight translucency to it, and this one doesn't. It's just like a one solid color. And also, his belt is a different color scheme, because you see the outer trim of his belt on this one, it's more of like a lighter green, and the inside of the belt, like the strap, is more of a darker green, and on this one it's just like the same solid shade of green. Now if you look at the buckle on the belt, like that, I guess that's like the mer people symbol or whatever. Yeah, they're they're both pretty much the same across both figures. Now, another thing why I said this one had a slightly different head sculpt, and I will get to that. Let me actually take both of their heads off so I can show you real quick, because I want to really get this on camera. Okay, see how the face mask on the version 2, it doesn't have, like, it doesn't cover, like, the nostrils, like where, like, the mouthpiece is, like the upper lip. That's what I'm showing you. And you see how it kind of slightly covers that nostril above the upper lip. Yeah, there's some differences there, other than just one has a scarred eye and the other one doesn't, and one's a darker shade of green than the other. So there is some differences in the sculpt between figures. So yeah, let's put their heads back on. So anyway, and one thing I do have to say that I did notice is this one holds weapons a lot better than this one, because yeah, you see how the spear is all loosey-goosey? Watch when I put this spear in this hand and this one, watch. See how it's not dangling? How it just holds it more firm? And I could do the same thing with the sword too. I don't know if that's a QC issue with the hands on that one or what, but yeah, it doesn't seem to want to hold weapons all that well. So yeah, those weapons work a lot better with a version 2. So I'm just showing you guys real quick. So yeah, let's put his stuff back with him. So let's put him off to the side. Alrighty. Give him his sword back. Okay. And now, if I have to give this figure a final score based on detail, articulation, and playability, I have to give him a drum roll, please. And based on those 3 categories, like I said, you all know I'm gonna have to take at least a point off for that tarsal joint. That's not the best, that you can't fully rotate. But other than that, I would have to say that this is definitely the better Mer-Man out of the 2. And Mattel, like I said, if this is their second Masterverse Mer-Man, they've definitely corrected some things over the original. So I definitely have to give this one a higher score, and give this one, especially since he holds his weapons a lot more better, a well-deserved, well-earned 9 out of 10. Why? Like I just said, holds his weapons a lot better. I feel this one is an improvement over the other. He's available on eBay for a decent price. Unfortunately, Big Bad Toy Store doesn't have them. Didn't find them on Entertainment Earth. Can't find this one on Walmart. So, yeah. eBay's probably, or Amazon's probably the only place you're going to find this one. But, I mean, other than that, like I said, as far as the new Eternia Mer-Man, I don't feel I could drop 100 on that one. I'm sorry. But whether or not it's released yet, or if it's coming, I know there's the the Masterverse Vintage Collection Mer-Man. I think would be really cool. But other than that, yeah, it pretty much concludes it for this review. As always, thank you guys all so much for watching. Your viewership is much Appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And to wrap it all up, stay safe, take care, stay positive, stay powered up. God bless, and peace out.